Hello YouTube! In this video, we'll be ranking every single weapon in Arcane Odyssey. Before we start the video, basically the way I'm going to be ranking these is I'm going to be ranking the base version of each weapon. So for example, the katanas, there's the old katana, there's the normal katana, I don't seem to have one, but there's like the normal katana, and then there's the Kai saber. They all basically do the same thing, it's just one does way more damage than the rest. So I'm going to be ranking it off of the normal katana, and same goes for the rest. And there are some special weapons like the Triasta of Bronze, Sunken Sword. These have their own like moveset, so those will be having their own ranking. And leave a comment down below on basically your opinion on each of the weapons. So this video is going to be about all of my rankings of each weapon. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Please do subscribe if you're coming back to my videos. If you guys love watching them, I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. So let's begin. The first one is swords. This has the moves Whirlwind and Tiger Rush. So the way Tiger Rush works is you need to be in combat for it to work. So let's say attack this person. Then since I'm in combat, I can use Whirlwind to dash towards them. Yeah, it's like a little weapon dash. Yeah, that's a grab, and then it throws them away a bit. The Whirlwind is pretty cool because you can use it while you're moving. Not while you're in the air, it does pause you in the air, but when you are like on the ground, it does work. This one, I would give it E tier. It's very unpopular, and like the moves also don't really do much. Next up we have is the Cutlass. They just made it exactly the same as a sword. Like it's the exact same. I really miss like the flying slash from what it was in Arcane Adventures. It was really cool, but it's literally just the same as the sword we just checked out. So I really wish like they change it back to like having a flying slash and maybe a different sword dash or something, or just something else in general. Like the Cutlass is such an iconic weapon in the Arcane Adventures universe, but it's not given enough love. For that, again, I might give it an E tier because, again, no one uses it because of the same moveset as a sword. Next up, we have the katanas. They're like the most used in the game because of two reasons. One, it has a dash ability, which is instant. Second skill of it is actually is also really cool. It's a flying slash, and it does an insane amount of damage. This is just a level 20 old katana, and it's doing an insane amount of damage. It's just really good. I would give this an S tier because of like how useful it is, and it's really good for like movement and such as well. On the next one here, we have daggers. Now daggers are basically like they're a spamming type weapon. They're really good in like close quarters combat. Like yeah, you get the point. They also have other moves. So you can throw the dagger. There we go. Yeah, 97 on each hit. But another move it does is the spiraling fury. And this is one of the coolest moves in the game right now. And this doesn't grab them. This just like does an area of damage while you're spinning. You have to be in combat to use those lunge type moves. Otherwise they don't work. Yeah, that time it did 73 damage. How did I get grabbed from there? So overall, daggers are actually pretty cool. They're just not used as much. I would give that maybe a B. Yeah, B sounds good. Here we have the spear. You can throw them. They are also pretty fast actually, and they have a lunge ability. So you have to be in PvP to use them. Let's try this. Let's see how much damage this does. That's 106. This is a level 1 old spear. That did 106. So pretty good, and they're pretty accurate as well. I don't get how grabbing works sometimes. There we go. That did an insane amount of damage. He's at 168 from like 300, which is like 150 damage. I would give these again maybe a B tier because they're pretty much the same as daggers. One of my favorite weapons, the Rapier. The area attack looks like this. It's the E move. It has a decent area, and they also have again a lunge move. And I think Rapier has the longest lunge moves in the game. So if we try it on this guy, like that. It brings them up, then throws them back down, and then you can just do the E move right above them, and you just did a decent amount of damage. Didn't grab them that time, but yeah, and they also attack really fast. I would give this an A tier, because the thing about the lunge is that you can only use it during combat, and like yeah, it's like literally the longest lunge in the game. One of the more unique weapons in Arcane Odyssey is the Trident. Okay, how about let's just do this. Fully charged, 142, pretty good. And there we go. That time I got him. Yeah, it's again pretty fast. I would give this, again, it's like the same as the spear, but does more damage, or the dagger, so maybe a B tier. I kind of biased towards it because I used to use a Trident a lot in Arcane Adventures. Again, maybe it's a B tier. Now we have one of the more popular ones, the Greatsword. It's also one of it is my most favorite weapon in the game, even in Arcane Adventures. Basically, the Greatsword is a two-handed weapon, and it's much slower than the rest. Because it's a two-handed weapon, it's much more heavier, and it has one of the most coolest moves. Number one is the Tempest move, and its area is gigantic. I can't even show it to you guys how big it is. And then its E move is also really good. So it shoots out 3 tornadoes basically, and it's a really short distance, but they do like 50 damage each, and this is a level 30 Greatsword with this. Like it's like insane, and the area of damage of it does like 116, and then if you hit all 3, 60, that's 180 damage. This for sure, it's S tier. It's literally S tier. It's one of my favorite weapons, and it's really popular. Here we have the swords, but this is the dual version of it, the dual old sword. It has a dash, and the dash looks really cool. Its Q move does 2 hits, 2 slashes, and they do an insane amount of damage as well. This is a level 21, so let's try it on this guy right here. What level? That's 90 damage from the dash. There we go. So it does 64 damage each, so that's total 120 damage. I would say this is an A tier. An A tier because it actually doesn't do much damage, but the dashing is really good. Again, with the katana, you can have both dashes and you can dish out damage and like run away basically. One of the more special weapons, the Sunken Sword. Now, the Sunken Sword is a bit unique because it actually gives a status effect when you hit something. So if you hit an enemy with it without any magic imbuement, it actually makes them have the wet status effect. So soaked, they get soaked. So this weapon is actually really powerful with people that use ice magic. So if you imbue your sword with ice magic, you would basically freeze your enemies when you slash at them, which is really good. So because I have a fire, it will make them scalded, and I don't know what it does exactly. Right now it's like giving like 3 damage kicks. I don't know what it does exactly, but yeah. Again, it's really fast, and here are the moves. So the first one is Rising Tide. It's like a dash upward, it's like its own move. So this carried it from World of Magic. It's like a dash upward, so it might be really good in like PvP and such. Other than that, that's like its only move, and I don't have the move unlocked, but it has a Tiger Rush, which is again it's a bit lazy. It's a bit lazy, to be honest. This should get its own dash move or another dash, like a teleport one. It's like it's so much work for getting this. Like it's way too hard to get from just fishing, and all you get is like a wet status effect, this like going up move, and a Tiger Rush. It's just not worth it. For that, I would put it in B tier. Like it's cool, it's like a flex, but it's just not worth it. Another one of the more unique weapons in the game is the Triasta of Bronze. Now I don't actually have the stat requirements for it, but its really good. So here's like two gifts of like the moves. Basically, this one weapon has two dashes, and those two dashes are like magic imbued with light magic. So it's like from the weapon itself. You don't have to have light magic to use it, and uh, it's like a movement thing. Basically, you can like teleport dash, and you can do the lunge at this right after. Because it has two dashing like skills, I feel like it should be in an S tier, because it's like it has its own magic imbuement, like the light magic, like I showed before, and it's like it has double dashes. People who are the fans of Wolverine would love this weapon very much, or do like this weapon very much. It is the claws. Claws are a bit interesting because they have like some of the more unique weapon styles, and have like, look at this. The attack speed is insane, and not only that, the effect is also really cool. Not only is the attacking of it really cool, the skills of it is also really sick. The first we have is Primal Swipe, and it's a really short range like attack, like that. If you use it on a person like here, it does a decent amount of damage, 141, and it's pretty big as well, like the area it attacks in. Though the range of it is really small. So if you look at that, like it just breaks right there. That's just his first move. Its second move is even cooler. Beast Instinct. Basically, when you're in Beast Instinct, you can't get attacked, and like it's a huge area. Like everyone who's gonna stand in it, they're gonna be shredded apart. There's also a cool little Easter egg with it in like I showed in my last video. You climb much faster with claws than like by climbing normally. I feel like it should be an S tier because its moves are really good. Its attack speed is really good. So I would give it an S tier. Moving on to the more heavier weapons. Here we have the Mace, or it's called in the game the Morning Star. This is what the first move is. It's like an AoE attack where you hit the ground really hard and attacks everywhere else. You can pretty much spam it. It's like the cooldown is really low. And this is what the E move looks like. It's a grab move, and hitting it is extremely hard. I'm gonna put this as E tier. It was so hard to use it. You have to get so close to like grab them, and it doesn't even do that much damage. Next up we have is the Stone Hammer, or the Hammer, and again, this one is literally like the same as the Morning Star or the Mace. It's like a grab move. It just looks like Thor's hammer. That's what it looks like. This looks like Thor's hammer. I wouldn't rate it much because it's like the same. So this gets an E tier again. It's just no one uses it. Then we have its bigger brother, the Greathammer. And I love the design on this. It has some cool moves. The first one is Devastate. So, as you can see, it's pretty cool. The next one is Skull Crusher, and it's a grab. And surprisingly, it's actually a lunge. So let's try it. It launches them up so high. Going for the grab. Oh! 88 damage in one move. That was a quick grab. That was like there's no like long animation. That was just straight up, just like damage. Oh, that's even bigger. That's even more like a bigger range. Okay, yeah, this is S tier. This has to be S tier. This is definitely S tier. Here we have the axe. This is the normal old axe, and it has a throw, and it like goes down a bit, so you can like curve it basically. So let's see how much damage it does. And then what about the E? Oh, so it doesn't. It's similar to the hammer and the mace, but like instead of a grab, it replaces it with a throw. So let's try this. 180. 180 damage. E move, 111, throw, 163. Yo, this actually works really well. And how does it like? How far does it swing? 48. That's actually pretty good. This is a level 40 weapon, so its damage is a bit higher. But I actually didn't expect it to be this good. I think this should be an A tier. It's pretty good. Actually. I've never used these weapons before. I don't know why I haven't. Yeah, I guess it's an A tier. And of course, we have the bigger brother of the axe, Greataxe. First, let's do Devastate again. That is such a cool move. And what is? No way. Is this the like? Oh my god. Striking Gale. This is basically a Greatsword. Why have I never used this? It's a gigantic throwing tornado. Okay. I'm just realizing the amount of things I can use. It's level 50. You only need level 50 to use it. Well, this is S tier. Yep, this is S tier for sure. I have never used this. Why have I never used this? Here is the wooden staff. It has 3 different variants: the wooden staff, the iron staff, and the cultist staff. They all do the same thing, and they're pretty good. So here's like the 2 things it can do. First one is knocking blitz. So it's a grab move or a lunge move. And then the second move is really cool. So it's like a ranged move, and it's really fast. Can't really show it like that. Let's do a bit of range. Yeah, it is very fast, and it's like accurate as well. So it's not like a large AOE. You actually have to hit it, and you can see the damage it does. And there's the grab. That was quick. That was quick work of him. Yeah, it's just a really good weapon. I would say it's S tier. Full charge it. 171 damage. And then here's the dash. Grab. That's a decent amount of damage. Plus, it did like a lot. So, one weapon I actually don't have, and I can't use as well, is called the Lion's Halberd. And basically, it's like a strength and weapons weapon. It's a boss drop, and it's really cool. So you can see on the screen here, it actually has 3 different moves. One of which is a ranged AoE move. Another one is also a ranged, but it's much larger AoE move. And the third one is a grab move, and it does a lot of damage. And the fact that it has 3 moves already, it's already pretty good. But you need like strength and weapons to use it, which kind of sucks, honestly. But yeah, I would say it is an S tier for people who are using it. But since like 70% of people can't use it because they didn't go strength and weapons, so I would say it's an A tier. It has some really cool moves, but we can't use them. So that's why I put it as A tier. You guys might be thinking like, what about the lance? The lance is basically the exact same as the rapier, so that's why I don't have it. It just does more damage, and it costs strength and weapon. So that's why I didn't put it in the list, because it's basically the exact same as the rapier. It's just you need weapons and strength to use it. So now I'll be going over some of the more ranged weapons. First off with the bow. And the bow is, well, pretty underrated. Not many people use it, but it does have some really cool moves. First off is the attack speed of it. It's basically, you can like spam it. You can like spam click. It does take off ammo, but it does have an insane range, so you can use it really nicely. Here it is against an enemy. It does 99 per hit, so if you can hit it, it's like really good. Then we have, of course, its other abilities. First one is the Q ability. So I use it on this guy here. Like click where you want to do the barrage. It shoots multiple arrows, and it hits the enemy. It's like a huge AoE, and it's really good. And you can also spam it. So its cooldown is also really low. And then we have the E ability, which is like multiple arrows at once. So that does an insane amount of damage as well. And that guy almost dead. There we go. So I would give it an A tier. Like, it's slow, but it does an insane amount of damage. I guess DPS wise, pretty good. You can use it to kill bosses. Next up is the Flintlock. This is actually the first weapon you get in Arcane Odyssey. So the thing about the guns is that they actually take a lot of time to reload. So when you shoot it, it actually has a cooldown. But the shot that you shoot does an insane amount of damage. So this is what it does. 98. Try the multi-shot, which is like you shoot multiple times. And it's like a shotgun. So the E move is like a, how do you say? It's like a shotgun, basically. So you shoot multiple multiple bullets at once. Let me just see like this, sort of like this. See like that. It's like a like a pentagon formation, basically. Let's try the grab move. Yep. The grab move does also an insane amount of damage, but like, you know, you have to hit it. I would give this maybe, I would give this a B tier. I think it deserves that. Next we have is the dual Flintlocks, and this is actually my favorite weapon. Like, it's one of my favorite weapons actually. It's two Flintlocks, and basically you can shoot like twice. So if you shoot once, you can shoot twice, and you can see the damage. 240 damage just like that. It doesn't shoot together, it shoots like one by one, and so you can basically shoot, you have like 2 ammo slots basically. And I just missed both of them, and that's the Q move. The Q move does insane damage. Like, it actually does insane damage. Let's try it on this guy right here. Let's do charged. So it shoots multiple bullets using one bullet only somehow. This is what I use to like kill my bounties, do some boss fights, and this is the grab. Pretty simple, but also like shoot them really far away. So I would say it's S tier because, you know, it's guns, America. And next we have is one of the more popular weapons. It's the musket, and the musket is actually like the most strongest gun, I'm pretty sure. So here is like the normal, just left click, 160 damage, insane. There we go. There's a decent amount of damage, but it's where the coolest move is the E move. So 202 damage, just like that. And you can basically like do a combo with it. Basically, you wanna do the E move and then left click immediately to do an insane amount of damage, like that. See, this is what I mean. So that's why people use it a lot, and it's super accurate. Like, the range is insane, and also the, what do you call it, the damage is also insane. So because it's really popular, I don't use it myself that much, but I would say it's S tier for sure. It does use up bullets a lot, so you have to keep that in mind when using it. Other than that, it's S tier. And another interesting weapon of choice is the shield. Now, shields, you can't actually left click or attack them, but they're shields, so they have something called durability. And the interesting thing is that durability is basically like a second health bar. So when you use the shield, it doesn't take much from your health, it takes from the shield durability. So this one is just a normal shield, just so that I can like show off the abilities first. But basically you can have like 1,000 or 2,000 extra health just from shield. So if you just hold G, you can just have that being like your second health bar. So if you're like really low, you can just use your shield to survive. And this is what the shield throw looks like. Captain America style, comes back. It does an insane amount of damage too. And you can spam it, which is really cool. Then we also have the shield bash, which is like a dash, and it's a grab move. So yeah, shield is actually pretty underrated thing. I have one shield. It gives me basically 2,000 health, and look at this. So it's gonna take from the shield's health. See, mine is 0. It's from my health, but it's taking the shield's health. So if I go and let's say attack a level 100 guy right here, and then I hold G, it's gonna take from my durability. So for that reason, shields are pretty good. They do some damage, but like most of the damage is hit towards the durability of the shield, and they have a 5-minute cooldown once they break. But other than that, the rank for it, I would give it an A tier. Uh, because like you need a really high level to use like the high health shields and then the moves of it as well. But other than that, it's still a really cool feature. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a comment on what's your favorite weapon and what would you rank the weapon from your own perspective. Check this video out on top right on 10 different hidden features that you may not know in Arcane Odyssey. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Subscribe if you want to. I want to hit 1,000 subscribers. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!